Hello. I'll be reading chapter 33 and 34 from the book Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. Let's put the two new cards on the table, said Charles. He and his so-called teammates, Andrew and Haley, Charles planned on dumping them both right before he made his glorious solo exit from the library, had scoured the library together for hours looking for more book cover matches. Peckelman wasn't nearly as good with the Dewey Decimal System as he had claimed to be, and Charles needed someone to do that sort of thing for him. His father always hired tutors or research assistants for him whenever Charles had to do a major paper or report. Finally, around 6 in, coincidentally, the 600th room, they scored twice, finding T for you and me and why wait to lose weight. Now their picture puzzle had only 4 blanks remaining. Okay, said Andrew, I think it's pretty clear. Woolly blank, walk up the skinny blank blank, house, Indian, and 19 blank. Charles nodded and said, interesting, even though he knew Peckelman was way off. Hello, said Hallie. That doesn't make any sense. Sure it does, said Andrew. Oh, no, it doesn't. In his head, Charles had decoded the clues so far as you, a female sheep, blank, walk out the T plus H plus E, way, blank blank in past, blank. But out loud he said, I think we just need to tweak Andrew's translation a little. Fine, go ahead, I don't care. Andrew slumped down in his seat to sulk. How about she blank walks out the skinny blank blank house 500 and past blank. Where'd you get she? Asked Haley. From sheep. The card you gave us. Actually, I think the sheep is supposed to represent you because a ewe is a female sheep. Fascinating, said Charles. I didn't figure that out. What he did figure out was that Haley Daly was much smarter than he had assumed. She could be a serious threat, and no way was Charles sharing his prize with anybody, especially her. And how do you get 500 from Indiana? She asked. Simple. Indianapolis, the capital of Indiana, is home to the race car known as the Indy 500. Okay, so how about you blank walk out the skinny blank blank in, because the Nancy Drew book was about an in, 500 pass or past blank. Now Peckelman piped up. That makes more sense than what you said, Charles. Indeed, said Charles, sounding magnanimous. Perhaps the clues are telling us to locate a secret skinny passageway 500 paces past some landmark here in the library. Andrew was excited. This is like the pirate map from Treasure Island. Or, said Hallie, maybe these clues are telling us we need to go out and find the 4 books we haven't found yet. We should split up. I'll go back to the 400th room. We've already been there, said Andrew. Well, you guys might have missed something. Good idea, said Charles. He figured if Haley Daly wasted time retracing steps he and Andrew had already taken, she would find nothing new and become less of a threat. Let's meet back here, say 7? Fine. Hallie left the meeting room. Charles went to the door and closed it. You know what we really need, he said to Andrew? Chocolate milk and maybe some cookies. Charles shook his head. No, Andrew. We need whatever clues Kyle Keeley and his team have found, especially if they have our missing cards. Chapter 34. Veering left the instant she reached the second floor, Hallie made her way towards the 400 room. She figured that Charles and Andrew had probably missed something important in the foreign language room because they spent too much time talking to these awesome mannequins that told them all about their American heritage. As she rounded the bend, Hallie saw Kyle Keeley and his crew tumble out of the 200s room. It looked like Miguel was carrying a Bible. But a Bible wasn't one of the books on display in the staff picks case. We're following separate paths to the same goal, Hallie thought, and somewhere those two paths are going to collide. Hallie slid her card key down the reader slot in the 400 store. The lock clicked and she pushed the door open. The room was dimly lit. Buena vida. Buen view. Witami. Kukabarish. Welcome, boomed a voice from the ceiling speakers. Sorry, said Hallie, blindly feeling her way forward and bumping into something hard and lumpy. This is the 400s room, home of the foreign languages. Here, Hallie, you can learn all about your American heritage. A bank of spotlights thumped on. Hallie was basically hugging a department store mannequin. An overhead projector beamed a movie onto the dummy to her left, turning it into a perky woman who looked like Hallie would probably look a couple of years after she graduated from college. Hello, Hallie. Welcome to your American heritage. Let's begin your voyage. That's okay. I don't have time right now. I'm Hallie Daly. My ancestors were Irish, okay? So can we skip the history lesson and... Suddenly, the two mannequins at the far end of the road turned into sepia-toned versions of her great-great-great-grandmother and great-great-great-grandfather. Hallie knew it was them because her dad had a bunch of old photographs hanging in the family room. The two dummies looked exactly like Patrick and Una Daly did on their wedding day portrait. No man ever wore a scarf as warm as his daughter's arm around his neck, said Patrick to his thick Irish brogue. Your da is proud of you, Hallie. Thanks, but I really need to win this competition. Watch out for sneaky rascals, said Una. Them that would steal the sugar out of your punch. Hallie had to smile. It sounded like her ancestor had met Charles Chiltington. And always remember, Hallie, said her great-great-great-grandfather, every woman's mind is her kingdom. Rule it wisely, lassie. I'm trying. This library can help, said her great-great-grandmother with a wink. And that's what she did. A secret panel on the wall slid open. What's going on, said Hallie. You're a third visitor, boomed the jolly announcer in the ceiling. So? According to the American Heritage Dictionary of Idioms, available in our reference department, by the way, the third time is a charm. Therefore, as our third visitor, you have won this charming bonus. 2 bonuses in one day? She was right. Mr. Lemoncello definitely wanted Hallie Daly to win this game because clearly he knew she'd be the perfect, best-looking spokesmodel for his holiday commercials. Don't worry, sir, Hallie said to the nearest TV camera. I won't let you down. She hurried through the open wall panel and into the 300s room on the other side. Ta-da! The first thing she saw was one of the books she'd been searching for all day long. True Crime Ohio, the Buckeye State's most notorious brigands, burglars, and bandits, by Claire Taylor Winters. She quickly opened the cover and found the hidden 4x4 card. It took her 2 seconds to decipher the clue. Band plus it's bandits. Hallie remembered another bit of Irish wisdom, something her dad said all the time. Never bolt your door with a boiled carrot. She decided to keep this new clue secret and secure. She wouldn't share it with Charles or Andrew. Hallie took off her left sneaker, folded the card in half, and slid the clue into her shoe for safekeeping. When her sneak was laced up tight again, she took the True Crime Ohio book off its display stand and tucked it into the bookshelf, making sure it was in the proper position, right between 364.1091 and 364.1093. That way, she'd know where to find it if, for whatever reason, she needed the book again. Hallie looked up at the nearest camera and flashed her brightest toothpaste commercial smile. Go Limoncello! That's a cheer I just made up. We can use it in one of the commercials after I win. Thanks.